Welcome back, everyone. Today I'm going to do my NBA power rankings for this week. I guess we'll start off right away with number 30. This is pretty easy, right? It's got to be Cleveland. They're not that good. They're 110. Their best player, Kevin Love's out for, who knows, maybe like 2 months, maybe even less, honestly. But they fired their coach, Tyronn Lue, after starting, I believe, 0-6 or 1-6, I believe. Um, they're not gonna be good at all. Probably for the next 2 or 3 years, maybe even more. But I have them winning 14 games, or roughly 14 games. They're not that good though. Like that's the only issue with them. They just don't have any talent. It's gonna be rough for them, to be honest. And they're by far the worst team. It's clear cut worst team in the NBA. Number 29 is the Phoenix Suns. You know, I kind of feel bad for Devin Booker because he definitely needs some help in Phoenix. He can't win by himself, as proven by the past like 2 3 years. He's been the only option. Last year they won I believe 21 games. They were the worst team in the NBA. This year they are 2-9. What's going for them is that they have a lot of young pieces that can definitely help them. Um, I don't know. I have them winning 22 games. Not that much of an improvement, but again, it could take some time. Maybe they surprise us from like 30 games around 30 games. Maybe they surprise us. Maybe the chemistry starts to pick up a little bit. But as of right now, they're 2-9. They're not that good as of right now. So I have them finishing 22-60, around or like 22 to 25 wins would be roughly. Third, 28th I guess would be the Atlanta Hawks. They're at 3-9 right now. Again, just like I mean, they don't have the only issue with them is that they don't have a true number one player, like a true star on their team, a true all star. They have a bunch of solid role players, but that obviously won't. That's not obviously like a key recipe to success in the NBA. You need to have at least one star, and maybe they'll have one in the next 5 years. Trey Young could potentially become a top five point guard. I don't know. I don't. I think it will be probably, but he'll be really inefficient this year. He'll score the ball a lot. He'll get a lot of assists, but yeah, I think this year should be around giving young guys reps and tanking, of course. I have them finishing 23-59. All right, 27th. This is obviously probably the most unexpected. Um, it's the Washington Wizards. Obviously, I don't think anyone would have expected them to finish this to start the season off this poorly. They're 2-9 right now. Um, so yeah, it's clearly the chemistry. The talent's definitely there for them. They're definitely talent wise. They're maybe a top five seed in terms of talent in the East. But obviously they're not playing up to their expectations. So they're 2-9. I think they're gonna come back just a little bit, but I think they're gonna win 37 games. But what I think they should do for the future is that I think they should trade away John Wall. I understand he's their best player, but the amount of salary he's eating up from your team the next 5 years, I think he's his last year is a player option for like $48 million, which is absurd. But anyway, I'm not gonna talk about them for too long because they're not that good right now. So I also want to keep the video a little bit shorter. Don't want to go off topic, I guess you'd say. 26th, I got the Chicago Bulls, who are currently 3-9. Okay, if I forgot to mention, I have the Wizards winning 37 games and losing 45. All right, 26. I have the Chicago Bulls. Um, the Bulls, I think they're in a good position. Obviously, they have Larry Markkinen is injured. He's out for 6 to 8 weeks. One of their key young players. But I mean, if they didn't have Zach LaVine, I mean, come on, we probably put them at number 30 if they didn't have Zach LaVine. I mean, this guy's scoring the ball on a whole nother level. I mean, he's averaging 30 points a game. He dropped like 42 on the Knicks a few nights ago, and won that game. Yeah, he's clearly established himself and really found a home in Chicago because we all know he can score, but obviously a lot of people fear that he wouldn't be as athletic as he as he usually is because of the ACL injury. But clearly proven the doubters wrong, I guess. And he's definitely helped his team win a few games. Obviously, they only won a few, but he's definitely been the difference maker in those games. I have them winning 26 games and losing 56. Here's where it gets interesting. My number 25 team. You probably guessed by now if I said it's interesting. It's obviously the Minnesota Timberwolves. Just like 6 hours ago, I believe. I'm sure you guys have heard about it, but Jimmy Butler got traded, of course, to the 76ers. And I bumped him up. Just spoiler alert, I bumped him up just a little bit. 76ers. I don't know. I guess I like let me just recap the trade right now, probably for like 30 seconds, and then we'll move on. I think. I mean, I obviously I think the 76ers win this trade by a lot. The trade itself was a great trade, and obviously like he's most likely going to resign, so it just makes it look worse for the Timberwolves. I expect Tom Thibodeau to get fired because obviously you could have gone 4 first round picks and like Eric Gordon, or no, not Eric Gordon, but like Brandon Knight. So definitely should have taken that offer instead, or maybe the Miami Heat. Maybe they offered you a good deal. We don't know those trade details. We just know that they almost made a trade. Um, the only good thing about the Timberwolves in that trade is that they traded him. The trade itself was a bad trade, but the fact they moved on from him was good. He was definitely a problem for them in the locker room. That's the same thing with him and with the Bulls. He had a lot of issues in the locker room there, so they obviously decided to move on. Yeah, all right. So I have them winning 35 games and 47 losses. Another reason, let's just talk about this for like 10 seconds. I actually think maybe it could have been because Derrick Rose has been playing lights out this past couple of games. He's averaged like 20 points, 6 assists these last couple of games. So maybe I don't know. Maybe that could have been another reason why, but I doubt it. I just think it's because obviously the locker room issue. So yeah, I have them winning 35 games. Next up, I have 24 Dallas Mavericks. Obviously, I just bumped them up just a little bit from 25 because of what happened with Jimmy Butler. Uh, they have like just like the Hawks. They don't really have that number one star. They obviously, again, like I said with the Hawks, they could eventually in 3 to 5 years have that guy who will be top five at his position in Luka Doncic. But I mean, they have some other nice pieces. Just overall, things are looking good for the future for them. I have them winning 28 games, I believe, this year. Not great, but whatever. Next up, number 23, the New York Knicks. Here we go again. Currently, okay, they lost today, so it says 4-8 because I created this list before this game. But they're 4-9. I mean, honestly, the record, it's 4-9. Obviously, their talent doesn't insist that they should be good, but they're in these games. They're in most of these games. Like I have 3 games off the top of my head that we lost by 2 points or less, which is crazy. Brooklyn we lost by 2, Boston we lost by 2, and Chicago I mentioned earlier with Zach LaVine we lost by 1, I think. So we're definitely in most of these games. If everything went well for us, we'd probably be right now. Well, we play 13. We probably go like 7-6 right now. I would say if everything went well for us, but obviously that's not the case. I like what we have going for ourselves. Tim Hardaway Jr. Obviously he's established himself as our scoring option. I'm not saying he's a number one scoring option on any other team. He'd be a solid number 2 scoring option on most teams, in my opinion. Like that's all he does. He just scores. That's all he does. The rookies are there, I guess. Alonzo Trier, pretty good overall. Definitely shocked a lot of people, including myself. What shocked me, Kevin Knox. Definitely not impressive, but we'll wait and see. He's only 19 years old. And Mitchell Robinson, he's okay, I guess. Playing a lot of minutes, getting a lot of reps. So, yeah. Number 22, I have the Orlando Magic. Oh, sorry. In the Knicks, I have them winning 29 games, 53 losses. Well, if they get Porzingis back, they'll probably win close to 38, 39 games because, again, if he was in these games, he most likely would have won them. Yeah, the Orlando Magic at 22. They're currently 5-7. I don't know. They have some decent talent. They drafted pretty well recently. So yeah, they have some solid young players like Aaron Gordon signed that pretty big extension in the offseason. Mo Bamba's playing really well. Vucevic is okay. Fournier is actually playing really well. I like this team overall. I think they could surprise us and make the playoffs, but I don't see them. I don't see that happening. I have them winning 31 games and 51 losses. Next up, the Charlotte Hornets. They're currently 6-6. The Hornets. I had them winning 38 games. The only reason why they're going to win that many games is, of course, Kemba Walker. Um, he's averaging like 30 points a game, right? So he's definitely the reason why they're winning these games. But without him, again, just like the Suns, I guess I think I mentioned earlier, they wouldn't be good without the star player. He's definitely making a case to being maybe a top 5 point guard. I don't think he is still. I think he's probably still top 6, top 7 maybe. But he's definitely helped his case a little bit. And yeah, besides that, they have some other decent pieces. But again, Jordan messed up really badly again when he signed a lot of really expensive players like Bismack Biyombo. All right, next up we have the Brooklyn Nets. I understand if this was 2 years ago, we all be laughing. And we all be like, how the hell are the Brooklyn Nets not number 30? But Sean Marks, their new president of basketball operations, I think he took over like 3 years ago. He's done a really good job, I think. What just happened? All right, let's just got a football update. Le'Veon Bell's not playing the entire year. Um, yeah, what was I talking about? Sean Marks is playing really well. Um, why did I say playing really well? He's done a really good job of bringing in some young assets like D'Angelo Russell. I don't know about him. Rondae Hollis Jefferson, Karis LeVert has definitely shocked a lot of people. They're a decent team. I have them winning 40 games this year. Again, I think they're going to slow down at some point, but they're still a good team overall, I think. All right, number 19, the Sacramento Kings. I know, again, they're probably bottom two. Maybe they're the worst team in terms of talent, but they definitely been playing really well, especially De'Aaron Fox. He dropped that insane triple double against Atlanta, I think. Got like 32 points, 15 assists, 10 rebounds, which is insane. Um, Currently 7-5. Again, do I think they're gonna keep this up? Of course not. I have them winning 34 games, but I like what I'm seeing from them. Number 18, it's the Miami Heat. And after this, I'm gonna preview my the standings after. Like for both conferences. The Miami Heat 5-6 right now. I have them winning 42 games, 42 and 40. They're playing okay. I mean, it's just typical Miami Heat, right? You see some average play from them. 41-41. That's what I'm gonna see from them. They have. I forget. I think it's like I don't know what his name is, but Rodney McGruger. This guy, I think that's his name. He's playing really well out of nowhere. Josh Richardson definitely taking a huge step forward. Sam Whiteside's okay, I guess. Goran Dragic still above average, but he's definitely not an All Star anymore from what he once was from what he was last year. But he's not gonna make the All Star team this year. They're okay. They're good enough to make the playoffs in the East, but anywhere else they're not gonna make the playoffs. All right. Number 17, I have the New Orleans Pelicans. I have them winning 45 games and 37 losses. Just like with Kemba Walker, the only reason why they're good is because of Anthony Davis. They still have Nico Mirotic, who's okay. He's playing pretty well overall right now. Julius Randle's solid. I like what I'm seeing from them. I don't think they're as bad as the record shows in terms of talent. Of course, if you have Anthony Davis, you should be winning more than 5 of your first 11 games. Overall, it's been okay for them. I think they're gonna catch up just a little bit. I think again, they also still have Drew Holiday, Alfred Payton. Their team's okay. I think they'll win enough games to make the playoffs. I think, just they're not winning enough right now. Number 16, I have the LA Clippers, and again, that's just as of right now. Just so you know, the Clippers just beat the Bucks, which is actually insane. Just think about it. I didn't have enough time to move them up. I would have moved them up a little bit. So now they're currently, well, I guess that makes them 7-5. I have them winning 39 games, but I'm gonna restate that. I'm gonna say they'll win 41 games. I guess that would be reasonable now. They're okay. I think. Again, it was smart to take away Doc Rivers his ability to trade away all the players like president of basketball operations for the team. I think it was smart they got rid of that because he definitely ruined them. They had a lot of talent. You think about it. The fact they trade all of it away and just wasted it with like Chris Paul. You think about it, and also I heard a report 2 years ago. Obviously, it's Carmelo Anthony who's not good anymore, but he was an All Star 2 years ago. They were offered Austin Rivers. Sorry, yeah, they were offered Carmelo Anthony for Austin Rivers, 35-year-old Jamal Crawford who's going to leave New York, and a 39-year-old Paul Pierce. It's crazy to think that they declined that. It's obviously because Austin Rivers is the son of Doc Rivers. That definitely had a huge impact on the decision of the trade. If it was anyone else, they would have definitely done that trade. You think about it, they would have had 4 All-Star level players on their team, but obviously he decided not to do that. They lost in the first round again, and everyone just got traded. All right, number 15, the Detroit Pistons. This is the halfway point to my video in terms of the rankings. So they're currently 6-5. They started off 4-0, so I was really convinced. I thought they'd have been probably the 5th seed, maybe even the 6th seed. They're still gonna make the playoffs again. They're in the East, so really nothing to worry about. I have them winning 44 games. I still think they're good. I think they're good, honestly. I think Blake Griffin probably will make an All NBA team this year. He's definitely playing like he's playing with the MVP caliber right now. 28 points, I think like 9 rebounds, 5 assists. It's crazy. Think about it, because everyone thought he was terrible. No, not what am I saying terrible. Everyone thought that his 2013 season was a fluke and that he would never be the same. He's obviously got injured, but he's always been above average, right? These past few years have been pretty disappointing for him, but this year I think he'll definitely rejuvenate his status as an All-NBA player and make the NBA team. Andre Drummond's Andre Drummond. He'll give you rebounds and score sometimes. Dwayne Casey's a decent coach. I just realized as of right now. Yeah, so I have them winning 44 games. They're currently 6-5. If I forgot to mention that earlier. Next up, number 14 are the Memphis Grizzlies. There's not really much to talk about. I guess they're okay overall. They're 6-4. I have them winning 42 games. They have some talent, of course. They have Jaren Jackson's actually playing really well. Their 4th overall pick. Marc Gasol is playing pretty well overall, and Mike Conley's actually doing a lot to help this team win. See that without Mike Conley, they're not that good, to be honest. So they really needed him. Not that much else to say. I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs, but they're still a good team overall. Number 13, it's the LA Lakers, and again, the only reason why is because of LeBron. Overall, I do think Brandon Ingram's been disappointing so far, but again, it's only been 11 games into their season. But Kyle Kuzma's been playing really well. That's all I have to say. Kyle Kuzma's been playing. He's been insane. He's been their second best player, only to LeBron, of course. They're currently 5-6. I have them winning 49 games, losing 33. They could surprise us and make the NBA Finals. You never know with LeBron. He's always really good in the playoffs, like a lot better than he is during the regular season. Yeah, this team is definitely gonna make the playoffs. It's again because of LeBron, but yeah, they're in a good position with the best player in the world, and they have a lot of cap space next year to get some guys like Kawhi Leonard, not Jimmy Butler anymore because he's probably gonna re-sign with the 76ers. I can't believe he's still there, and who's the other guy? And Kevin Durant or Kyrie or Klay Thompson. I'm sorry. Why am I saying Kyrie? They're not gonna get Kyrie because he's not gonna go back to LeBron. That's the only reason why he wanted to trade, because he wanted to leave LeBron, be the number 1 option for his team. Number 12, I have the Utah Jazz, who are 6-6. Got them finishing 48-34. They've been a little bit disappointing to start the year out. 6-6 is not really where I expect them to be right now. Donovan Mitchell playing okay, I guess. It's not really eye-popping numbers compared to last year. I think he's averaged the same, I guess. Rudy Gobert has been really, really good overall, and Joe Ingles actually surprised a lot of people this year. He's had a really good year so far. And Quinn Snyder's a great coach. Trust me, there's a team here that we're going to talk a lot about later in a few minutes. Number 11, San Antonio Spurs. They are currently 6-4. I've been winning 49 games. DeMar DeRozan's actually been really good. Overall. LaMarcus Aldridge has been pretty good overall. Again, I do think their playoff hopes. Well, they're gonna make the playoffs, but their contention, I guess, their title hopes. I mean, if they ever had, were gone after DeJounte Murray tore his ACL and is out for the year. That really hurt them because he would have been one of my candidates for most improved player of the year. Lonnie Walker's out for a little bit, but DeMar DeRozan's definitely carried a huge workload and definitely contributed to their success so far. Number 10, I have the Houston Rockets, who are 4-6. I know from like I talked about earlier, talent standpoint. With the Kings, I know they're not that good, but then bottom three. This team, they could be top three from a talent standpoint in the NBA. They're just not playing well. If they had decent talent, then they definitely be a bottom 8 team, bottom 7 team. But the fact that they have James Harden, Chris Paul, Clint Capella, Eric Gordon, and they're not winning games. I mean, again, just like last year, they were like 30-2 when Capella, Paul, and Harden played in the same game altogether. This year it's the same. They're losing when their core 3 players aren't on the court at the same time. I have them winning 56 games because, again, they're from a talent standpoint, they're probably top 3 in the NBA, so they're gonna get stuff fixed. I don't think they're gonna be as good as they were last year, but because obviously they lost a lot of depth, like Trevor Ariza. But they're gonna be okay. I think they'll be fine. I think they could possibly rack up the 3rd seed in the Western Conference. All right, number 9, the Indiana Pacers. We're just gonna talk about Victor Oladipo. He's been really good. Domantas Sabonis has been really good. Tyreke Evans has been, he's been pretty good overall, I guess. Miles Turner is definitely looking like he's worth the contract. $20 million a year. Not eye-popping again, but still good overall. I have them winning 50 games, losing 32. They're currently 8-5, as just mentioned. Yeah, they're number 9 on my list. Number 8, this is the team I was going to talk about, the Boston Celtics. What's wrong with the Boston Celtics? They're the number 1 defense, so you expect them to. And from a talent standpoint, they are the 2nd best team in terms of talent in the NBA. It's crazy to think that the Celtics, they're 7-5. It's not like they're terrible. It's not like they're the Wizards, right? Where they just completely collapsed. But they've been pretty disappointing overall. I think they're gonna fix stuff. I have them winning 53 games, losing 29. What else? 7-5. That's their offense. They can't move the ball. Brad Stevens gets a little bit too much credit. And I'm just going to talk about Danny Ainge for a second. I love what he's doing. I love how he's collecting all the assets. The only issue with him, in terms of the assets, you got to trade. You got to take risks. And I wouldn't be surprised if they try and trade for Anthony Davis after what just happened today with Jimmy Butler. Will they trade for him? Probably not. I don't think that the Pelicans will accept a trade offer that doesn't include Jason Tatum or Kyrie Irving. But you never know. They could pull Tom Thibodeau and screw up really badly on these trades. I think their offense will probably be, by the end of the year, they'll probably be like 20th, around 20th in terms of offensive rating, but they'll be the best team on defense. As long as Marcus Smart and Jaylen Brown don't get hurt, then they'll be a really good defensive team. Number 7, I believe we're on number 7, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Wow. I mean, come on. 2 weeks ago, I'm sure everyone would have had them. Not even in the top 20, right? Because they were 0-4 to start the year. They come all the way back, and now they're 7-4, and they've definitely sent a message that they're coming. Russell Westbrook, just playing like Russell Westbrook, the triple doubles, everything is going well for him. Paul George playing really well. Dennis Schroeder has been a really good acquisition, considering they didn't give up anything for him. They gave up salary for him. I think overall this team is looking really well. Steven Adams, again, playing really well. The bench has been pretty questionable as usual. I mean, is Robertson playing? I don't think Robertson's playing yet. But when he comes back, they're gonna be a really good defensive team because he really makes a big difference on the defense. So they're number 7. I have them winning 51 games, 31 losses. They're currently 7-4. If I forgot to mention, number 6, the Portland Trailblazers. They're right now 9-3. They've definitely surprised a lot of people, including myself. I have them winning 52 games, losing 30. Um, they've played really well, especially CJ McCollum. I think he's played. I wouldn't say out of this world, but he's definitely improved a lot from last year. I think he averaged like 21 points last year. I think he's averaging close to 26 this year. I can't remember, but I think that's what he's averaging, around that number. Damian Lillard's been insane as usual. Their bench is okay, I guess. Nick Stauskas has actually played really well. I think he's averaging like 13 a game. He's definitely. I wouldn't say he's found a home yet because it's been like 12 games for them, right? But he's definitely looking like he could be something special for this team. Maybe like a key role player for this team going forward, moving into the playoffs. Number 4, I have them. Sorry, no. Why did I say number 4? Why I skipped to number 4? Number 5, I have the Denver Nuggets. I have them winning 52 games. No, sorry, no. That's the Trailblazers. I have the Nuggets winning 58 games, losing 24. They're currently 9-3 as we speak. Nikola Jokic is so good. This guy's insane. I know they just lost to the Nets, I believe, by 1 point. But Nikola Jokic has been playing insane. He should definitely. I would consider him to be second team All NBA center this year because Embiid's probably gonna be the first team All NBA center. Yeah, the bench is playing really well. I wonder if we're gonna see Isaiah Thomas this year or Michael Porter Jr. I don't think we're seeing Michael Porter Jr. this year though. Gary Harris is playing pretty well. Jamal Murray scored 48 points, which is insane, I guess. Paul Millsap's okay, I guess. This team's probably a real title contender. Obviously, you're not going to be the number 1 contender when you have Golden State in the NBA, but they could make a case for being the second best team in the Western Conference. I think they actually might be at this point because the Rockets have struggled a lot. Number 4 is the Milwaukee Bucks. They're currently 9-2. I have them winning 60. No, is that right? 60 games, 22 losses. I know it seems like a little bit too much for them, but they've been playing really well. They just beat the Golden State Warriors by 21 points, and the Warriors had they didn't have Draymond Green, but they still had Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, and Steph Curry. Still, again, probably top 2 team in the NBA with those 3 guys, anyways. Giannis again, playing really well. Could be an MVP this year. Chris Middleton playing pretty well overall. Dante DiVincenzo, he's okay. This guy's ankle was broken a few days ago, but he's doing okay. I mentioned Middleton. Brogdon's looking okay. Brook Lopez actually fit really well with them. He's looking pretty good for them. They're a good team overall. I think they should definitely be contenders in the East. Maybe even title contenders. I don't think so, though. Number 3, it's a team we're going to talk about. I don't need my list anymore. I know the rest off by heart, unless I don't know how many wins projected they'll have. We're obviously the reason why I moved them up just a little bit is because they just got arguably the top 10 player in the NBA. They just got Jimmy Butler on their team. And they really didn't give up that much, considering he's going to re-sign him. Dario Saric is okay overall. It's not. I don't think he's. Again, I don't think these guys are going to turn into Jimmy Butler one day. You can make the argument that the 76ers were willing to give up Jimmy Butler. Sorry, not Jimmy Butler. Markelle Fultz. I wonder if the Timberwolves just offered that as a first offer, or if they tried to get I know they tried to get Simmons a few weeks ago, but that definitely didn't work. Maybe they tried to get Markelle Fultz and they said no. I wouldn't have. I would have accepted it if I were the 76ers. I would have traded Fultz for Butler just because Butler is going to most likely resign. This team clearly they have in my opinion, three of the top 8 players in the Eastern Conference, being Jimmy Butler, Joel Embiid, and Ben Simmons. They still have a decent bench. It's not that great overall anymore, but they're still a really good team. Oh no. Great. I think I had them winning 60 games overall. I can't remember, but my phone just ran out of battery. Number 2, this might be surprising, but Again, talent standpoint doesn't really matter. It's all about the winning, right? It's the Golden State Warriors at number two. Again, there's not really much to talk about. They're still the best team in the NBA. They're just not playing like the best team. They just lost by 23. They're playing tonight against Brooklyn. They should easily win that game. I mean, not that Brooklyn's a bad team or anything, but they're just a lot better than them. I know Curry might miss a few games. I wonder when DeMarcus Cousins is going to come back. Maybe he just doesn't even come back and they just give him a free ring without any work. Um, yeah, this team's still the best team. This team's definitely still the number one contender for the championship. It's not even close, especially when Cousins comes back if he does. But right now they're not the best team in the NBA, in my opinion. I have them winning 63 games. I think it's because I think of rest. I think they're gonna rest some of their players some nights, like against teams like the Suns, I guess maybe teams like the Knicks, teams especially the Cavs. The Cavs, they can play their backups and beat the Cavs, honestly. Uh, and number one, I have the Toronto Raptors, currently sitting at 12-1 because they just won today. They're really good. I just find them to be really good overall. They're well coached, very surprisingly well coached by Nick Nurse. No one really knew much about him. I didn't know much about him. I thought they'd be a little bit better than last year's team, but I didn't think that they would do this much better than last year. Um, yeah, overall, yes. I can do this. I can. Yeah, so they're 12-1 right now. Um, overall, right? So they're looking pretty good overall. 12-1. I have them winning 67 games. 67, I think I said. They're right now the best team in the East still in terms of obviously like their performance, but from a talent standpoint, they are the third best team, and that could catch up to them. I don't think that will. I think they're still a sensational team. Kyle Lowry's been playing really well. He's averaged like 18 points, 11 assists, 5 rebounds. I think he's putting up. I don't think he'll keep this up, but I think he's playing like Chris Paul right now. I think he's playing like Chris Paul. He's not as good as Chris Paul still, but he's playing like Chris Paul. And Kawhi Leonard, obviously. What else? What else do you want me to say about him? He's a top 5 player in this league. Right, and I forgot about standings. Damn it! I need my phone. Hmm. Anyway, I guess you know what. I don't really think I need to talk about the standings. That doesn't really matter at this point. It's my projected standings, but it doesn't really matter. Um, my finals preview this year is going to be the Toronto Raptors and the Golden State Warriors. I have the Warriors winning in 6. No, scratch that. Yeah, 6 games. I guess 6 games would be a good amount. At best, the Raptors don't win this. I think at best the Raptors maybe win 7. I think at best they lose in 7. Obviously, at the worst they get swept. Like in their scenario, I think the worst they can do is lose in 5. It's between losing in 5 and losing 7, so I got that in between. They're okay. Do I think? Okay, you know what? Now, you know what? I'm gonna talk about a few free agents. This might get a little bit off topic. I'm gonna talk about the top 5 free agents most likely. So we know Jimmy Butler is off the table right now in terms of free agency. Kemba Walker said he's gonna resign. Klay Thompson said he's gonna resign it if they give him a good contract. So it leaves us with Kyrie, who said he's gonna resign. Kawhi. That's basically it. And Kevin Durant, of course, he's gonna test free agency. My prediction for them, I think Kevin Durant because and also and Marcus Cousins, forgot about him. My prediction for Kevin Durant because they're gonna win most likely. So I think he'll be like, okay, you know what, screw it. I don't want to. I don't know. Maybe I want to leave my team for once, be the best player by far on this team. I want him to come to the Knicks. I don't know. It's really tough to say. I don't think he'll sign. As of right now, I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna predict where he's gonna go. I'm just gonna predict his status with the Golden State. I don't think he'll resign. That's all really. Demarcus Cousins, Steve Kerr said they're not bringing him back. Obviously, if you're the Warriors, if Kevin Durant leaves and if Demarcus Cousins leave, which they most likely both will, then you can't play. Then you can't pay Klay Thompson the max. So I guess they do that. They can just bring back the original big three, I guess. They'll still be a good team. They won't be the best team again, but they'll be good overall. DeMarcus Cousins is gonna leave. That's been clear. He's not gonna go to the Wizards anymore. That rumor is probably off the table because they suck right now. Um, Kawhi Leonard, I truly think he'll resign. I really do. I think the way they've been playing, he definitely likes their intensity overall. Defensively, they're really good. I think he has a good chance of re-signing with their team. And who else? Kyrie, I think he'll resign. He's gonna resign. There's probably no question that he'll resign. That's basically it. All right. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys have a good day and see you next time. I don't know what I'm gonna make next video. Maybe I'll talk about the Jimmy Butler trade as a whole, the 5 winners and 5 losers. Maybe next. I don't know. We'll see what happens. See you next time. Bye.